about that? You actually showed up. And thank you. And welcome. This is the very first installment of Making Sense for 7 Minutes. This is going to be a summer-long series, Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, for 14 weeks. And here's what we're going to be doing. In obviously bite-sized pieces, we're going to survey our historical narrative as recorded in 66 historical documents, which when compiled together are referred to as the Bible. Now, before you rush to hit that delete button, some of you, let me point out why this is important to everybody. Whether you're a follower of Jesus or whether you are antagonistic toward religion in general and Christianity in particular, or whether you're just, pretty laid back, apathetic about the whole thing. Here are reasons why this is important for everybody. First of all, reason number one, cultural literacy. The fact of the matter is that the Bible is a central book in Western civilization. Our history has embedded the Bible into our thoughts and into our language. The Bible is essential for understanding many, if not most, of the moral and spiritual values of our culture, whatever your religious beliefs might happen to be. There are a boatload of allusions in our everyday language that come from the Bible, such as my cup runneth over, the patience of Job, he's going up against a Goliath, salt of the earth, the good Samaritan, prodigal son, reap what you sow. The people who cannot understand or use such allusions are quite simply limited in their ability to participate in literate English. Reason number two. If you're antagonistic toward Christianity, it's a pretty good idea to be familiar with what it is that you're fighting against. A few weeks ago, I had a comment from a gentleman in response to something I had put on Facebook, and he said, I don't get my morality from a book written by a bunch of Bronze Age barbarians. I'm not sure he had that tone of voice, but that's the way it came across. And my reply was simply, listen, it's a pretty good rule of thumb that if you don't know what you're talking about, Bronze Age barbarians, if you don't know what you're talking about, it's a pretty good idea just not to say anything about what you're talking about. So, reason number three, for the followers of Jesus, we understand, claim, acknowledge, promote, proclaim that the Bible is the very Word of God. And yet, certainly here in America, among Christians, the level of biblical illiteracy is embarrassing. And there's a fourth and a final reason why this is important for everyone, and that is that as far as the Bible is concerned, there is no other book in the history of mankind that can match it. Here's what I mean by that. When we're talking about the Bible, we're talking about not just one book, but we're actually talking about a collection of 66 different books. They were written over a span of 1,500 years with over 40 different authors who were kings, military leaders, peasants, philosophers, fishermen, tax collectors, poets, musicians, statesmen, scholars, shepherds. It was written in the locations of the wilderness, in palaces and prisons, during war and peace times, both, in times of wealth and poverty. 3 different continents, 3 different languages, Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. You'll find poetry, narrative, song, romance, didactic treatise, biography, autobiography, allegory, law, prophecy, parables, proverbs, and it addresses dozens of controversial issues with a consistency that would give you the indication that it was actually written by only one person. That's what we're going to be doing. My 7 minutes, it's up.